I'm in Haslemere, once described as the fashionable capital of the beautiful Surrey Highlands. Whilst not the remote country town it once was, the villages and hills around Haslemere still have an away-from-it-all feel, and the town itself is the gateway to these fantastic beauty spots.
All of those factors mean that properties here are in demand.
In every auction, there's always a little gem lurking, and I think I found it today. On offer is a unique 3-bedroom detached period property with character, and the picture in this catalogue looks absolutely amazing. Now, it's been recently refurbished and it's in a wonderful location, very near to the station. The catalogue also suggests that there's potential to redevelop. It almost sounds too good to be true. And look, you even get your own footbridge to the front door.
How cool is that? This interesting house went to auction with a guide price of $270,000. What a strange exterior. Mock Tudor meets treehouse with its own gangplank. I can't wait to see inside.
This is called the Old Weaving House, and it dates back to 1898, where during the arts and crafts movement, a weaving workshop was set up for locals to weave fabrics to make clothes. Well, as you can see, I've walked straight into the upstairs part of the house. You can see over here this huge window. It's absolutely amazing, and it's letting loads of light in, which makes me think that this is the space where the weavers might have worked years ago. But just take a look and see how modern it is today. You've got cream paint everywhere, new carpets, ensuite bathrooms. This is the middle room. There are 2 other bedrooms either side, and you've got a long, airy corridor between them. I can't wait to go and have a nose around downstairs.
The weaving house is built on 3 levels in a kind of hollow. From the street, you go across the footpath to the top of the house, which is where the 3 bedrooms are. They all have individual en-suites, but there's no separate family bathroom. With so many windows, it's a lovely light space. What's the layout downstairs?
Now, this is a huge space. This room alone has got 12 individual windows, but I'm looking straight out onto a car park, which I've got to say is quite disappointing for me. Now, through here, oh, we've got a kitchen, which I really like. It's got that sort of very fashionable painted wood look. I've got to say I like the colour, but maybe it's not to everybody's taste. Now, through there's a utility room, which I think is a real bonus for families. You can store away all that washing and ironing. But I have noticed there is no separate toilet in the whole house. You have to go through a bedroom to get to one, which isn't ideal.
I guess it's just another quirky feature which adds to the eccentric nature of the place. We've seen the top 2 floors, and there's more space to conjure with at the bottom of the house. But is it inside or outside?
So here we are outside. You have to access this via a shared driveway next door. But underneath this house, we've got this huge garage. You've also got a storage area just here. But there is no garden at all, just this, and that's a downside for such a big house. The other thing to note is the timber frame construction. Now, this can be a sticking point for mortgage companies, and although this wood looks very pretty, it could be a problem if you need a loan to purchase the place.
That might be what puts off some buyers. The lack of garden is a drawback, and it's not ideal to overlook a car park. Oh, and there's another thing. Beyond that car park, there's a busy railway line. So who does the local property expert see this unusual Haslemere house appealing to?
This particular street attracts a lot of first-time buyers and commuters because of its close proximity to the main line station. The property itself will probably attract a lot of interest, but I think the majority of people may be put off because of its timber frame construction. It also has the railway line behind it, and parking is very poor in the area. It would be useful if it had a separate cloakroom, so you didn't have to access a cloakroom through a bathroom.
How much could it be worth if those issues were resolved?
I would suggest that if the improvements were done to the property, that we might be looking to achieve a guide price of somewhere between $330,000 and $350,000.
The guide price was $60,000 below that when the weaving house went to auction, so there could be a return here for someone. What a shame that the house has so much space on the ground floor, but you can't access it from inside the house. That could be the challenge to tackle here.
This is a stunning property and great value with a £270,000 guide price. It's in great condition and so near to the railway station. I just love it. But, well, it's not perfect. However, it's the sort of place someone will fall in love with. Let's see who fell for it when it went to auction.
Right, move on now to lot 86, which is the weaving house with development potential, offering it with vacant possession. Who'd like to give me a start on this? Somebody want to start me at 300,000? Bidding, how much? 250, thank you. £250,000, 255, thank you. 260, 265, 270, 275, 275, 280, 276, 277, 278, 279, 280,000. One more. 280, 280, 281. Lose it for 1,000? Yes, no? If not, please, the gentleman there, it's 280,000. It's against you and against you. 280 for the first, 280 for the second, 280 for the third and final time. We all done? So, 280, sir. Well walked.
The final bid of $280,000 was made by Andy and his wife Sarah. They were drawn to the property as they both worked in weaving and textile design, which is how they met. They bought the house to live in with their 2 children. So I met up with Andy back at the weaving house to learn how it will be woven into the tapestry of their lives.
Andy, congratulations. You must be absolutely thrilled.
Yeah.
This really was the jewel on auction day, wasn't it?
I think it was, yeah. Certainly was for us, anyway.
So what was it that you loved about this property?
Well, we've got a background of weaving. I was a weaver and my wife is a weaver, and this is called the Weaving House. So what attracted us was we just wanted to come and have a look because we know that weaving houses sort of built around this time have really huge windows so the weavers can actually see what they're doing.
So did you just come and have a look to be nosy, or because you thought you might have wanted to purchase?
Mostly to be nosy. But then we walked in and we kind of glanced at each other and thought, you know, we could live here.
It's weird walking in here because it's almost like a new property. It's been painted, it's been decorated, there's all these modern spotlights everywhere.
Yeah.
Are you going to do anything to change the character internally?
One thing we thought about was maybe putting a balcony outside, so you could maybe put doors into the wall here and then a balcony sort of at this level. Might put a bit of character in to do that.
What about the toilet situation? You've got quite a lot of loos upstairs, but no single toilet for any of your guests. They have to go through a bedroom.
One of the spare bedroom at the end will probably make us we'll have a bed in there, but that can be made out into a double bed, and we'll have a table for an office, and we'll just have that as the sort of the toilet that people can use.
Well, Andy's got a plan to sort out the bathroom problem. But selling their current home isn't proving so easy. Fortunately, his dad has helped with the finances so they can buy the weaving house.
I know a lot of people may have been put off because of the wooden structure, because it's very hard to get mortgages on houses like this.
That's right. We're trying not to think about that at the moment.
We are being positive.
We are.
But I just have to take your attention to what you see out the window, a big car park.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel about that?
We drew up a list of downsides and upsides to this place. There's the car park, there's a railway line quite nearby. The parking outside isn't fantastic, but we just put up with those because of the upsides.
So what do you think you're going to do walking into this room? Curtains up, or are you going to put nets up, or anything to shield the car park, or are you just going to have it there?
No, we're going to put curtains up. We'll have some curtains woven to one of Sarah's designs.
So will Sarah be actually doing any weaving from here herself?
Not in the building, but we may well put a large sort of chalet kind of shed workshop outside, because Sarah's loom is it's quite big and it's very, very tall.
So are you going to make any changes to the outside? Because you do have a little gravelly garden area with a couple of empty rooms underneath. Have you had any thoughts about that?
A lot of it is going to be storage, which is very uninspiring, but with 2 boys, it's crying out for a big train set in there or something like that.
I can't wait to come back and see you. I know you know a lot of history about this property, and I know you've brought some cuttings along with you today.
Have, yes.
Should we go and have a look?
Yep.
Weaver of life, let me look and see the pattern of my life gone by, shown on your tapestry.
Andy, I'm so excited to find out all the history that took place in this house. Let's have a
Okay.
look at these.
Yeah. So the picture here, this is the upstairs, but before it was separated into 3 bedrooms.
So, Andy, which part of the house was this photograph taken in?
This is more or less this room. It's the whole of the top floor was put out to weaving, so there are 10 looms that we can see here. And this window that we can see here is the one there, and you can actually see the line of the woodwork along the top.
Yes. So obviously there were no partitions in this top
No.
floor. It was just one big
That's
room.
right, so it's been turned into a living space afterwards, but this is what it was originally.
And of course, this is what the house originally looked like.
That's right. So this is the house from the outside. You can see the sort of little entrance gate, and that's still the original gate, and you can see all the windows are the same.
Amazing! Looks like the only things that have changed are the hedge and the trees.
Andy, I can't wait to come back and see you all and to see how you've turned this weaving house into a home. It's been lovely meeting you.
Thank you.
This is a purchase from the heart, and there's nothing nicer than meeting someone passionate about a new home. There's still hurdles ahead for Andy. Here's hoping, though, he gets his finances in order and moves the family in with no hitches. Find out how he gets on later in the programme.